Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to PSJA ISD Athletics. That's right, folks. We're here at beautiful Corpus Christi ISD Cabinets Field, where tonight your very own PSJA High Lady Bears are making history, the first time ever in the state semifinal. The Final Four, folks. That's right. PSJA High has earned a trip by winning the Region 4 championship last week. They're here, and they're going to be the visiting team this evening. They're going to be wearing the white bottoms, maroon tops. And of course, they're going to be facing a very formidable team representing Region 3, the Lady Katy Tigers. This is a good team. They are out of District 19-6A, district champions. And of course, they won Region 3. They'll be wearing black tops with red sleeves, white bottoms. And of course, it's a bright, sunny late afternoon here in Corpus Christi in the Coastal Bend area. Production of KTRI. I'm Javi Martinez, bringing you the play-by-play action. With me is Edgar Hernandez. And, of course, we're waiting the first pitch. How did we get here? Well, Katy High representing District 19-6A as district champs. They started off by beating George Ranch 12-0, 16-0 in by district. And then in the area round, they took care of Houston Memorial 10-0, 5-4. Then they beat Kingwood in the regional semifinals 6-2 in 8 innings, and then 4-0. Then they beat Cedar Creek in the Region 3 Championship Series, 9-0, 5-4. So they got here undefeated, 8-0 with 5 shutouts. On the flip side, your very own PSJ High Lady Bears got here to the state Final Four by defeating Brownsville Hannah and by district Cibolo Steel in the area round, Vista Ridge in the regional semifinals, and then taking care of Dripping Springs in the regional final. So we got the first pitch underway, folks. It's a little bit low to the hitter, Adi Lugo, the third baseman. Of course, on the pitcher circle for Katy will be Haley Smith, a freshman pitcher, and she's got a very live fastball. That pops the catcher's catchment right down the heart of the plate for strike one. A ball and a strike. Her battery mate will be Maddie Smith. The first baseman will be Evie Williamson. Nevaeh Phillips, the second baseman. E.K. Smith, the third baseman. Kelly Kurtz, the shortstop. Another good, lively pitch. Is it a ball or a strike? I did not get the indication. It looked like Lugo offered at it but held back. So she checks her swing. It's a ball. So inside fastball called for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. In the outfield for Katy will be Lexi Waugh in left. Addie Fail in center, and Abby Eldridge in right field. We're going to have a foul ball, so that'll make the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and early on we see the power, the speed of the pitcher, the freshman, Haley Smith. Good-looking freshman. She throws the ball extremely well. Got good velocity. Of course, she's facing the leadoff batter, Adi Lugo, to lead off the game. The third baseman swings and misses a high heater on the outside corner. Lugo just could not catch up to that high rising fastball for out number 1. So that'll bring up the second baseman, Amory Vega. And of course, the keys to this game, as Coach Alyssa Garza from PSJ High noted, was they need to make contact. They need to make contact. They need to put the ball in play. They know they're facing a very, very good pitcher with good high velocity. She said they got to work the count, hit early in the count. And there we see Vega right on cue, swinging at the first pitch. He got a good pitch right down the middle. Misses it, though. Fouls it straight back. It'll be a no balls and 1 strike. With an out here in the top of the first. Beautiful, bright, sunny afternoon and a gorgeous ballpark. Great crowd support from both teams. Upstairs. That upstairs pitch looks dangerous right now as Emery Vega swings through it. Couldn't catch up to that high heater. For where I'm sitting, about 4-5 rows in, right behind home plate, you can hear the catcher's mitt pop. She must be throwing in the mid-low 60s. Good swing by Vega on an 0-2 pitch. Fouls it straight back, though. Good-looking swing right on it. Didn't get fooled. Almost timed it up. Just didn't get the barrel on the ball. Fouls it straight into the backstop. Infield, playing straight away. First baseman, third baseman, playing the in at the bags. Medium depth for the middle infielders. Outfield straight away, and a check swing not held up on a high rising fastball once again. So Vega goes down swinging. So the pitcher, Haley Smith, just as advertised. Although she's just a freshman, she has already picked up 2 strikeouts. One of Lugo, one of Vega. That brings up the sophomore, the shortstop, Ivana Salas. So PSJ High trying to put the ball in play for the first time. First 2 hitters could not. Good pitch upstairs, but taken by Salas right at the letters. Ball called. Of course, it's a 3-man umpiring crew. It's a neutral crew. Wind blowing slightly towards center field. Not much, though. Shouldn't affect too much. And there's a rope right there. Quick hands by Salas. Slaps it down the third base foul line. Ball hit hard. Inside fastball turned on. Away foul. Ball to strikes with 2 outs and nobody on here. The top of the first. Of course, this is game 1 of a 3-game series. Swung on and missed. That'll be a ball and 2 strikes on Salas. Again, the Lady Bears are taking good aggressive swings, just coming up empty. Maybe they got to shorten up their swings a little bit to catch up to that high rising fastball. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Haley Smith, the pitcher for Katy High. They said she was a good one. Well, folks, I am sold that she is. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left on base. We're going to head into the bottom of the first with the scoreless ball game. And, of course, pitching for your PSJ High Bears, your District 31 6A champions. They come into the game with a 38-1 record. Region 4 champions for the first time ever, folks. So this is their first opportunity to get to have the opportunity to advance to the state championship. Of course, as I was mentioning, this is a 3-game series. The first game, Katy High will be the home team. PSJ High will be the home team for the second game, and then they will flip for the third game. All 3 games are being played here at Corpus Christi ISD at beautiful Cabinets Field. And it is a wonderful day. It's a little bit warm, though, but just the sun is bright and sunny. They were expecting some rain. Luckily, the clouds have cleared up. So we got game 1 going on. In the pitcher circle for PSJ High will be Emma Escamilla. Her battery mate will be Kaylee Lopez. At first base will be Mia Rodriguez. At second, Amory Vega. Third baseman, Ari Lugo. The shortstop, Ivana Salas. In the outfield, Ademaris Garza in left. Astrid Reyes, the center fielder. And Nina Guerra in right field. So Emma Escamilla, very highly touted pitcher as well. And Arizona State University, Big 12 commit. And she's going to have a tough time dealing with some other commits, Division I commits that will be hitting in the batting lineup for Katy. And I'll get to them as we get to them. And, of course, PSJ High has a great pitcher in Emma. Great infield. I tell you what, one of the most solid infields I've seen in softball. Emery Vega at second, Ivana Salas at short, and Ari Lugo at third can pick it. They can throw. In the outfield, they got good speed. They're man in center field by Astrid Reyes. She's got tremendous speed. She roams around that outfield, takes control. Well, we're going to have the first batter, the pitcher, Haley Smith, followed by the left fielder, Lexi Waugh. Escamilla's first pitch, taken right down the heart of the plate. So Schmidt taking all the way, takes the first pitch for a strike. A good lively fastball off the pitcher's arm of Escamilla. Escamilla has pitched in every single inning in the playoffs, has done superb. Can she keep it up this evening? Oh, any indication of the first 2 pitches? That's a big yes. First pitch is a hard fastball. Taken by the hitter. Second pitch, he took something off, pulled the strings on it. Batter way ahead, bouncing the dirt. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. Upstairs. Hitter. Smith almost thought about swinging. Checks her swing, though. Ball and 2 strikes. A waste pitch for Escamilla, trying to get her chase something out of the strike zone. Now let's see if she attacks the strike zone again or tempts her with something low and outside. Infield playing straight away. Outfield as well, not too deep. Wind not really blowing. And there's that outside fastball I was talking about, but it just misses high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes, so the count will be even on the leadoff hitter, the pitcher, Haley Smith, just a freshman. Escamilla, as always, very deliberate in the pitcher circle. Awaits the call from the dugout. Now she's going to call time. Oh, indecision there on what the call is. Of course, they look at the wristband to get the call from the coach. Swung on and missed. Well, the call was an outside fastball, and she blows it by Schmidt for out number 1. So Escamilla trying to match exactly what Schmidt did in the top of the first, where she picks up the first out via a strikeout. That brings up the left fielder, Lexi Wall. Lexi Wall is one of those Division I commits from Katy that I was mentioning. She's a UT Arlington commit. The left fielder plays extremely well. Hits the ball solid, good speed. Of course, each team has great pitchers. Each team almost mirror images of each other. Both teams average about 10 runs a ball game, and they both allow just a couple runs a game. So what we'll give here in the in the state semifinals. 0-1 pitch. 2 Wall. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. So Emma Escamilla feeling it in the pitcher circle right now. Trying to match the opposing pitcher. Right now, PSJ High trying to get it done. Here in the bottom of the first, they went up quickly. 3-3 down to the top of the first. They're trying to make the same thing. Ball hit to Salas. Salas picks it up, gobbles it up. Low throw, but scooped up by the first baseman, Niat Rodriguez. Ball is retired 6-3. Ball was hit sharply to the shortstop, but a good job by Ivana Salas. Flipping it over to Mia Rodriguez. Salas, a sophomore as well as Rodriguez. So the future will continue for those two. And I'm sure they're going to get better and better their junior and senior year. Well, with 2 outs and nobody on, brings up the third baseman, E.K. Smith. Hits it high and deep, and the ballpark will not hold it. E.K. Smith, an Oklahoma commit, SEC product right there. Takes the first pitch and just slams it right over the right field fence for a home run and score number 1. My goodness, that was a towering blast. You blinked and that thing was out of here. So now with 2 outs, brings up Maddie Smith, the catcher. She's a North Carolina State commit over in the the ACC. So another D1 commit, Emma Escamilla, struck out the first batter, got the second batter to ground out, but gave up a towering home run to right field. First pitch swinging is the catcher, Maddie Smith. 0-1 the count. So the 0-1 upcoming from Escamilla, swung on, hit high to the right fielder. Lot of room. Nina Guerra camps under it and will grab it for out number 3. Well, after 1 complete inning to play, it is Katy High 1, PSJ High 0. We'll be back at the start of the second inning.
At PSJ ISD, we take pride in being one of the few school districts in the region to offer our very own employee clinics. Enjoy access to high-quality medical services with a $0 copay for you and your family members covered under the PSJ ISD medical plan. From chronic condition management, annual checkups, and flu shots to urgent care needs, our licensed physicians are here to keep you and your family healthy and thriving. Visit our locations in FAR at 1200 East Polk Avenue, Building G, or in San Juan at 1229 South Veterans Boulevard. Appointments for you and your covered family members can be made by calling 956 354 2170.
Welcome back, folks, to game one of a state semifinal best of three series between your very own PSJ High Lady Bears and the Katy Lady Tigers. Katy, of course, is out of the Houston area. PSJ High went quietly in the top of the first, 3 up, 3 down. Katy High looked to do the same, go down quietly with the first two batters retired, but then E.K. Smith, the third baseman, hit a bomb over the right field fence. And the senior enables Katy High to have a 1-0 lead after one complete inning of play. So we're going to head into the top of the second, folks, with Katy High leading 1-0. Of course, it'll be the pitcher, Haley Schmidt, who struck out the side in the top of the first. It'll be Emma Escamilla, Mia Rodriguez, and then Kaylee Lopez. Escamilla leads the team with 18 home runs for PSJ High. First pitch, swung on, hit to the shortstop softly. The shortstop gets it. Kurtz gets it and gets it to Williamson quickly. So 6-3 for out number one. Escamilla grounding out to the shortstop. Katie Kurtz comes up, feels the routine ground ball, makes a quick throw to first to Evie Williamson for out number one, brings up the first baseman, Mia Rodriguez. Rodriguez, as I mentioned, is a sophomore. She's facing the freshman pitcher. The first delivery is upstairs, taken for a ball. So PSJ High here in the top of the second, still looking for that first base runner, still looking for the first hit. Of course, trying to get that run to tie it all up again. 1-0 is a little low. 2 balls and no strikes, so great hitter's count right here. Head of the count is Mia Rodriguez. I'm sure being down by 1 early in the ball game, I think a 2-0 is a green light. Outfield not playing too deep. Wind blowing up, but very slightly, and sure enough, she did have that green light, but comes up empty. She looked at a good live fastball, misses it. 2 balls and a strike. With 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the second. So the pitcher, Haley Schmidt, with the 2-1 delivery, a chain. Well, that swung on and missed again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Schmidt was way behind the count, 2-0 on the hitter, Mia Rodriguez, and now it's even. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Schmidt already with 3 strikeouts. Rodriguez trying to get the first hit, and she swings and fouls it straight back, so the count will remain 2-2. A good-looking swing. Just PSJ High Bears taking very good swings at the hitters, at the pitchers, but just not able to barrel it up right now. So the 2-2 upstairs. So it'll be a full count on the number 5 hitter in the lineup, Mia Rodriguez. Fouls it off again, so we'll do it all over again, folks. The payoff pitch once again. So Rodriguez steps back into the batter's box. The umpire says play on. The pitcher delivers upstairs, ball 4. So Mia Rodriguez is the first base runner for PSJ High here in the top of the second via a walk. That brings up the catcher, Kaylee Lopez. Kaylee Lopez has seen this scenario many times in the playoffs, where before she was hitting behind Emma Escamilla, and Escamilla would get walked regularly. And now with Rodriguez hitting in front of her, Rodriguez gets walked. So let's see what Katie Lopez can do with an out. Runner on. She hits it high into the air. Somebody's going to call it. I think it is the center fielder. So Addie Fail will grab that in center field. Katie Lopez just missed it. Had a good swing on it, but pops it up to the center fielder. Cannot advance the runner from first. So Mia Rodriguez will stay at first base. Now with 2 outs, brings up the hitter, the right fielder, Nina Guerra. It's an interesting matchup here. Guerra has a very quick swing. She hits a lot of hard foul balls. And now with the pitcher with extra velocity coming at her, this may be a perfect recipe for her. And well, right on cue, the pitcher, Haley Smith, I guess they did a scouting report because she throws a changeup on the very first pitch. Trying to get Guerra's bat moving quicker than it should. 1-0 the count. Guerra hitting in the number 7 spot, playing in right field. Good pitch inside, 1-1. Now on Guerra, and of course Rodriguez at first via a walk with 2 outs will be running on contact. It's 200 down the line, 210 to center field. So anything in the gap could possibly score a run. And Nina gives it a right, hits it long and foul, but way foul. That's what we're talking about. Guerra can turn on those inside fastball pitches. She's got to learn how to keep it fair. Got to keep those hands tighter into her body. Get that barrel to stay through the plane a little bit better and keep it fair. The ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Upstairs, no, called strike. So Guerra gets called looking for out number 3. So the Bears, the Lady Bears, the top of the second, no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 1 runner on base. So after 1.5 inning to play, it is Katy High 1-0, and it will be their turn at bat. Of course, in game 1, Katy High is the home team. PSG High will be the home team tomorrow night here, 7 p.m. once again at Corpus Christi ISD here in the Coastal Bend at beautiful Cabinets Field. Quick review of recap of what's happened so far. In the top of the first, PSG High went up to bat, 3 up, 3 down. Their pitcher from Katy High did a great job striking out all 3 batters, 3 up, 3 down. Katy High came up to bat. Escamilla retired the first 2 hitters. But then the third hitter, the third baseman, E.K. Smith, took a fastball and drove it over the right field fence. A no doubt home run, giving Katy a 1-0 lead. Escamilla got the next hitter to fly out to the right fielder. So that's where we have heading to the bottom of the second inning. Katy High leads 1-0 in game 1 of a best-of-3 state semifinal. Usually this game is played in Austin. Usually it used to be a 1 game on a Thursday, as this evening is a Thursday. In the championship game, the winner would win and advance to play on Saturday for the state title. But since a couple years ago, in the playoffs, it became Division I, Division II. So now the semifinals is a neutral side or a home and home, depending on the teams participating. And these 2 teams, PG High representing Region 4 and Katy High representing Region 3, decided on a neutral field, and it's a beautiful ballpark here in Corpus Christi, Cabinets Field. Well, that'll plunk the hitter, Evie Williamson, right in the elbow, so she'll trot to first base. I'm sure that stung a little bit. She seems fine, though. Okay, so now they're going to give her time. I was going to say, that hit her right in the elbow. And, of course, they consider that sometimes the funny bone. Nothing funny about it because that thing smarts. It's a little painful. So, Katy will have a run on first with nobody out. Brings up the center fielder, Addie Fail. Addie Fail, a freshman. She's bunting, bunts it up in the air, and that's going to hit the back of the net for strike number 1. I tell you what, folks, I played a lot of baseball. I cover baseball, and in softball, it is difficult to lay a sacrifice bunt down. The dimensions are so small. The third baseman in this situation is Ari Lugo. She is just right in your face. It is a challenge to get a bunt down for a sac bunt, and that's hit high in the air. Gibby Chase is the catcher and the third baseman. Lopez and Lugo, but they both come up empty, so it'll be a ball. No balls and 2 strikes on the hitter. Nevaeh Phillips. Swung on, and Phillips can't catch up to the high heater. So good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Phillips. 3 pitches, 1 out. Yeah, that'll bring now the center fielder, Addie Fail. Yeah, as I mentioned, Addie Fail is a freshman. We kind of forgot about Nevaeh Phillips. Apologize for that. But it's all corrected. Runner first, 1 out. Addie Fail, the center fielder, hitting. Kaylee Kurtz, the shortstop, on deck. Fail looks like she wanted to bunt, swinging from the left side of the batter's box. Took it, though, for a strike. So no balls and a strike to the left-handed hitter. And, of course, she's playing center field, so she has to have good speed. The 0-1 from Escamilla. Bunt it, and that'll roll foul. So Fail fails to put the bunt down. Try to push it down the third base line. Lugo deals it in foul territory for strike number 2. So no balls and 2 strikes. I'm sure the bunt attempt or sack attempt is going to be taken off here. Of course, we have Evie Williamson, who was hit by the pitcher at first base with 1 out. Swung on up. No, not swung. Taken upstairs for a ball. Big lead by the runner on first. Lopez gave a look, but didn't throw. The ball, 2 strikes now with 1 out. The 1-2 upcoming from Escamilla, and it's more of a defensive swing by Addie Fail, and she fouls it off to the left side. We'll do it again. A ball, 2 strikes. Escamilla with the 1-2. Swung on, fouled off again. So we'll do it all over again. A good battle between the freshman, the center fielder, Addie Fail from Katy, and the junior, the pitcher, Emma Escamilla. So it'll be a ball, 2 strikes once again with 1 out. PJ Faithful starting to make some noise here. And we'll try it all over again as that is fouled off again to the left side. A ball, 2 strikes. And Miss Fail, Addie, she's just flipping the bat. She's not really trying to do too much with it. She's getting outside pitches and just flipping the bat out there, trying to slap a ball over the third baseman or the shortstop's head into left field. Escamilla's 1-2, and this time Addie Fail cannot catch up to that high heater on the outside. Out number 2, so the runner, Evie Williamson, will remain at first, but now with 2 outs after back-to-back strikeouts. That is strikeout number 3 for Emma Escamilla. So Escamilla trying to get her team back into the dugout. Only trailing by 1. We're in the bottom of the second. First pitch is a strike to the shortstop, Kaylee Kurtz. Kurtz, another freshman for Katy High. They have a very young squad. Going on, foul straight back right at us. No balls and 2 strikes, so Escamilla with a great opportunity here. 1 strike away to get out of the second inning. without giving up any runs. Of course, she gave up the hit batsman on the first hitter of the inning, and that batter is still stranded at first base. Ball in the dirt. Good job by Lopez, but in the process, Lopez can't find it. Kind of sneaks in between her shin guards, and she couldn't corral it. So Williamson hustles to second base. So good, smart base running by Williamson, Evie Williamson, for Katie. So Katie now has a runner in scoring position with a 1-2 count with 2 outs on Kurtz. So that has turned out into a very big pitching sequence here. Swung on and missed. Escamilla wins that battle. So Escamilla strikes out the side after hitting the first batter. So after 2 complete innings of play, it'll be PSJA High 0, Katy 1. Katy, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base. So after 2 complete innings of play, PSJA High trails by 1. As we head into the top of the third, and I tell you what, we're quickly in the top of the third. In the ballgame so far, it's been a pitcher's duel. The only difference is Katy has 1 hit, and it was a home run. Other than that, it's been 2 very well, superbly pitched ball games. And of course, we're heading to the third, 7-inning ball game. PSJA High, the visitors. Game 1, they'll be the home team. In game 2 tomorrow. Same time, same place, 7 p.m. here at Corpus Christi ISD Cabinets Field. So we're going to head into
At PSJ, heroes don't wear capes. They wear aprons, ID badges, and walkie-talkies. They show up before the sun rises and they stay long after the final bell rings. They do not fly through the skies, but they do move mountains for our students. One meal.
Here we go, folks. Welcome back. PSJA ISD's broad production. Of course, audio only this time due to our UIL agreement that we could not stream the game live, but at the very least, we're giving you some audio. I'm Javi Martinez, bringing you the play-by-play action. Coordinating is Edgar Hernandez. So we're going to head to the top of the third. Katy High picked up a run in the first. Nobody scored in the second. And the first 2 pitches to the hitter, Ademaris Garza, hitting in the number 8 spot, the left fielder, are 2 balls upstairs. So 2-0 the count. PSJA High has only had 1 base runner. That was via a walk last inning. So Garza gets challenged with a high fastball from Haley Smith. Garza couldn't catch up. Perhaps a bit above the strike zone. That could have been ball 3, but instead it's 2 balls and a strike. Tough pitch to lay off of. 2-1. That catches the strike zone for strike 2. So Garza was way ahead of the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Now it's all even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the 2-2 to the leadoff hitter in the top of the third. Upstairs, full count. Good vision by the hitter. Good job by Garza. It's always tough to lay off pitches upstairs in your eyes, but she does exactly that. She lays off. It's now a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Smith with a 3-2 offering, and it is fouled straight back. So we'll do it all over again. It's a boisterous crowd for PSJA High. They have their normal fan support. Good-looking fans out here. A lot of fans from the Valley out here. And, of course, the PSJA High cheerleaders are here supporting the softball team. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Big fist bump by the catcher after that strikeout of Garza for out number 1. That is strikeout number 5 already for the freshman, Haley Smith. Brings up the number 9 hitter, One of the best hitters in the lineup, the center fielder for PSG High, Astrid Reyes. Reyes has been a hitting machine in the playoffs. She swings at the first one and skies it foul. She was all over that one. She was ready for that high heater fastball, but turned on it too quickly. No balls and a strike. On the junior center fielder, of course, facing a freshman pitcher. Not your average freshman pitcher, of course. Swung on and fouled back. So Reyes, again, takes a very good swing, but it fouls it straight back. No balls and 2 strikes. And that's been the situation all game so far through the first 3 innings. The freshman, Haley Schmidt, working ahead of the count. So the Bears pound out their first hit here with 2 outs. Taking upstairs, good vision. Not biting again. Reyes on that high fastball outside the strike zone. The ball and 2 strikes. The hot hitting Astrid Reyes, and she plays a superb defense as well. Roams out there in center field. Reyes hits a mile high. Who's going to call for it? I think it's a Kurtz, a shortstop, and she'll catch it right at the pitcher's circle for out number 2. So Reyes hits a high fly ball, but the shortstop is able to make that grab right in the center of the infield diamond for out number 2. So we'll be back to the top of the lineup here in the top of the 3rd with 2 outs, nobody on. It'll be Adi Lugo. She was a strikeout victim her first time at bat. She had some good swings, fouled off a few, but at the very end struck out. And she'll fall off the first pitch she sees straight back. And again, we see a lot of foul balls that are going straight back into the backstop, which typically means the hitters are on the pitch. They're just not barreling the ball up. They're just missing it by a fraction of an inch. The Lady Bears can hit it solid with the velocity this pitcher's throwing. There could be some damage done. And there it is, a shot down the left field line. A 2-hop shot off the left field foul line. Lugo, quick hands right there, drives it into the left field corner. Good job by Lexi Wall bringing it in, holding Lugo to a 2-out double. So the first base hit of the ball game for PG High comes off the bat of Adi Lugo. That brings up Amory Vega with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. This will be the first time PG High has a runner in scoring position in this ball game. Of course, a 1-0 ball game here in the top of the 3rd inning. PG High, the visitors. And the chants begin. Go Bears, go. Can they rally with 2 outs? First pitch, a strike. Of course, Vega 0 for 1. Strikeout victim her first time at bat. The pitcher, Haley Smith, already with 5 strikeouts. She had 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 here in the 3rd. Vega, a sensational hitter. On deck is Ivana Salas. She's been red hot as well with the bat. So the 0-1 swung on the upper part of the strike zone, followed back again by Amory Vega. And the catcher is going to call timeout. Go talk to her pitcher. And of course, the catcher is Maddie Smith. Maddie Smith, a senior, taking charge over the freshman behind the plate. Probably let her know how important this next pitch is, because the runner on second, Lugo, is very fast, very speedy runner. Anything past the infield, she should score. Vega looking for a hit with 2 outs. Swung on. It is belted high, deep left field. The left fielder give chase. It bounces off the left field fence, foul. Left field fence marks 200 feet, but unfortunately that was about 15 feet foul. Vega give it a ride, but foul. And little by little, you're starting to see it. The Lady Bears hitters are starting to make that adjustment to really hit the ball a little bit better, not just foul it off, but square it up a bit better. 0-2, and that is lofted into left center. The center fielder is going to, they leave their second runner left on base. So they've left a runner on base in the second inning and now in the third. So we're going to head into the home half of the third inning. Head into the bottom of the third. It'll be the pitcher, Emma Escamilla for PG High in the pitcher circle, trying to keep this game at a one-run ball game. That's really important as we head into the later innings. And, of course, we're going to have the number 9 hitter, the DP, hitting for the right fielder, Cassidy Minnick. I believe she's going to be hitting for Abby Eldridge, the right fielder. And then, of course, it'll be back to the top of the lineup with Haley Schmidt and Lexi Wall. So here in the bottom of the third, we get ready for the first pitch. Escamilla. Well, there we go. A little pause. We were waiting for Ari Lugo, the third base. You can't play without a third baseman. And I tell you what, Ari Lugo is about as good a glove at third base as you will find. I love the way Salas plays shortstop. And, of course, Amory Vega, in my opinion, the best second baseman in the state of Texas. So we're set. The left-handed batter, Cassidy Minnick, the DP coming into bat. She's hitting for the right fielder in the number 9 spot of the lineup. The first pitch, take it for a strike. Minnick looked like she wanted a bunt. That forced Ari Lugo to hustle in. Ari Lugo was about 8 feet from the hitter once the ball arrived at the catcher's mitt. So the third baseman playing in. In fact, the entire infield is playing in. Outfield playing regular. Normal depth. It's a bunt. Lugo grabs it. The speedy runner is going to get thrown out at first. My goodness, Minnick showing off great speed from the left side of the batter's box. But I'll tell you what, I said it. Ari Lugo could play a fine third base. She showed it up there. Gets to the ball quickly. That was bunted. Quick transition. A good hard throw to Mia Rodriguez to retire the first hitter in the bottom of the third. It'll be up to Haley Smith, the pitcher, the strikeout victim, coming to bat now for the Katy Tigers. Nobody on, 1 out. Bottom of the third. Sun starting to fade a little bit. It's bright and sunny, and I'm starting to get a little overcast, or at the very least, the sun is hiding behind a cloud and making it nice and cooler now, and shade throughout the entire field. Infield playing straight away. Outfield playing straight away. Normal depth for everybody. Swung on and missed. So that'll even up the count on Schmidt. 1-1. Lugo looking for her 5th strikeout. She's had at least 1 strikeout in every inning. She had 1 in the first, 3 in the second. She's given up a hit, and she's hit a batter. She's given up 2 base runners. Of course, the big one was that home run. That's why PG High right now trails 1-0. The bottom of the third. Strike 2 on Schmidt. Couldn't catch up to a lively fastball. Now we'll see if Emma wants to put her away or tease her. And, well, it's a good fastball, but a good job by the hitter. Fouling that off to the right side. Staying alive is Schmidt. The ball in 2 strikes with 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the third with Katy High leading 1-0. They scored 1 on the first. Nobody scored in the second, though PG High got a hit in the top of the third, but left a runner at second base. That's been their biggest threat. Escamilla does, in fact, get her 5th strikeout. She strikes out Haley Smith for the second time. That is strikeout number 5 for Escamilla. So each pitcher right now has 5 strikeouts to their credit. As I mentioned, this is a pitcher's duel. Brings up the hitter, the left fielder, Lexi Wall. She grounded out to the shortstop, Ivana Salas. Her first time at bat, now hitting with 2 outs and nobody on. Bottom of the third. The delivery swung on, hit high into center field. And all that Reyes can do is watch that sail over the center field fence. Lexi Wall with a no-doubt bomb. That gives Katy High a 2-0 lead. So a huge 2-out base hit. Lexi Wall, she's the first pitch. She likes it. And she hits it high, deep over the center field fence that reached 210 feet. That makes the score now 2-0 in favor of Katy. So that brings up E.K. Smith, who hit a home run, her first time at bat. Well, they're going to walk her. They're not going to mess with E.K. Smith. So the Lady Tigers out of Katy, Region 3 champions, are up 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. Smith with a free pass to first with 2 outs brings up the catcher, Maddie Smith. So Maddie Smith bats with runner on and 2 outs, and she takes a big swing. Comes up empty though. Good pitch by Escamilla. Getting it by the catcher, Maddie Smith. And of course, Maddie Smith committed to North Carolina State, ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference. The 0-1. Swung on, falls straight back right at us. No balls and 2 strikes, so. Emma Smith and the Lady Bears 1 strike away from getting out of the third inning here at the bottom of the third. Hoping to remain just down by 2. Runner on first though, so she's moving on contact. So she was intentionally walked, that's why she's there. Ball in the dirt, and there she goes, stealing second base. So E.K. Smith, the third baseman, hustles, gets to second base on the ball in the dirt. The catcher, Katie Lopez, couldn't do much with that. Allows the base runner to get to second. Base runner looking back, looking at the outfield. Well, they're playing straight away, not too deep. The breeze is starting to pick up, straight out. And there's a shot to right field, and woo, everybody here on the PSG high side just takes a deep breath that ball landed about a foot foul down the right field foul line. Runner was already racing home. That would have been an easy double RBI, but instead it's just a loud strike. A ball and 2 strikes. We'll do it again. Maddie Smith, of course, hitting in the cleanup spot for Katy High. The 1-2 with 2 outs and a runner on second. It's hit to the left fielder, but right at Adamaris Garza. That was a rope to left field. Garza had her played perfect for out number 3. But little damage is done with 2 outs. Lexi Wall with 2 outs hits a solo home run, so 1 run on 1 hit. There's 1 runner left on base. So after 3 complete innings of play here in Game 1, it is Katy High 2, PGA High 0. We'll be back for the 4th inning.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Texas.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Hello, PSJ team. Our district works hard every day to protect our students and ensure the safety of everyone on campus. Your role as teachers and staff is just as important. We rely on you to monitor your surroundings, stay observant, and report anything unusual or concerning immediately. Your partnership is essential in maintaining a safe environment. In the event of an emergency, know that we have protocols in place to address it. The most important things you can do are remain calm, follow our safety procedures, and stay informed through official PSJ updates. Panicking and
Here we go, folks. Welcome back to a proud production of KTRI Edgar Hernandez producing this audio radio segment of Game 1. Of course, I'm Javi Martinez bringing you the play-by-play action. Quick recap: a run in the bottom of the first for Katy High, a solo home run. A run in the bottom of the third for Katy High, a solo home run. And that's all we have, folks. 2-0 as we head into the top of the fourth. So quickly moving halfway through the ball game after this half inning. The ball game will be half over, to be honest with you. And of course, the hitter right now is the shortstop, Ivana Salas. She struck out her first time at bat, but right now she has a 1-1 count. Top of the fourth, game 1, a beautiful Cabinets Field in Corpus Christi. Thank you to Corpus Christi ISD for allowing us to be playing here in the state semifinals. First time ever PSJ High is here, and they're enjoying it, but right now they trail 2-0. Swung on and missed by Salas. And I tell you what, Salas was on a tear in the regional finals. Had multi-hit games in both games. A fine-looking shortstop defensively, and she swings a very good bat. Just a sophomore. Very bright future for that young lady. So Salas, behind the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Gonna get the pitch. Hit high in the air, but that'll make it to the backstop. In fact, that'll hit the net, protecting the fence, and I'm glad it did. So the pitcher, Haley Schmidt, ball and 2 strikes. And let me tell you something about the fans here. We got a great fan support. The cheerleaders are here supporting PSJ High. And then we got some crazy individuals, a lot of men wearing pink, I'd say pink purplish wigs. They look good in them though, but not my style right there. Ball and 2 strikes to Ivana Salas. Swung and missed. A great changeup. Excellent pitch by Haley Schmidt. My goodness. Just took a lot off that pitch. Pulled the string on it. Had Salas way ahead of it. Route number 1. And of course that's Schmidt's 6th strikeout of the ball game. So it brings up the pitcher, Emma Escamilla. And of course, fan support wanting Emma to do some damage here. Takes the first pitch low for a ball. And Emma Escamilla can do it. She's been red hot in the playoff. She's been one of the key cogs that has allowed PSJ High to advance as far as they have here to the state semifinals. She's pitched extremely well. She's had big timely hits. She's hit a lot of home runs. And there she skies it. Will the ballpark hold it? I think she hit it way too high though. And the left fielder, Lexi Wall, camps under it right at the warning track. My goodness. Escamilla hit it a little too high. If she gets under, if she hits it a little bit more of a line drive, that's clearly out. But just a long fly ball to Wall for out number 2. So quickly with 2 outs brings up the first baseman, Mia Rodriguez. She was the first base runner to reach for PSJ High back in the top of the second via a walk, but she was not able to advance. And she ended the inning at first base. PSJ has left 2 runners on base. They had a runner left at first base in the second inning, a runner at second base in the third inning. Now we're here in the top of the fourth, and PSJ High trails 2-0. Just 3 hits in the ball game, 1 for PSJ High, 2 for Katy, but those 2 hits were huge. Both of them were home runs, and that's exactly why Katy High has a 2-0 lead. Lady Bears trying to storm back though. First pitch that Mia Rodriguez likes, she swings at, but she comes up empty. The count will be a ball and a strike now with 2 outs and nobody on. Top of the fourth. Quickly moving through this ball game. This ball game started at 7 o'clock. We're approaching the 50-minute mark, and we're going to be already halfway through it. And Rodriguez couldn't catch up to that fastball, so she's behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes now. Of course, we're here at Cabinets Field in Corpus Christi. What a beautiful day. Beautiful early evening for softball. The only thing that would make it better is if PSJ High can come back and erase his 2-0 deficit. Upstairs, your away team wanted that pitch. It was up and in, though. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Even the catcher's looking back and saying, hey, Blue, where was that? Umpire saying, come on, girl. It was inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Deuces are wild here in the top of the fourth. 2 outs. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on. The hitter, Rodriguez hitting the 5 spot. Try to get a 2-out rally going. That's exactly what Katie did in the bottom of the 3rd. Well, it would not happen in the top of the 4th as Rodriguez gets caught looking at an outside fastball. So the freshman, Haley Smith, records 2 strikeouts. So no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. So we're halfway through the game. And, folks, we're heading into the bottom of the 4th quickly. So it'll be the number 5, 6, 7 hitters in the lineup for Katy High. Of course, Emma Escamilla has pitched extremely well. She's done everything she can possibly to hold this Katy team to just 2 runs. And, of course, she's only allowed 2 hits. Unfortunately, Lexi Wall and E.K. Smith just had the better of it and hit the ball over the fence for solo home runs. And that's been it, folks. Katy High has 2 hits, and both of them have been home runs. That's why they lead 2-0. And, of course, PSJ High with only 1 hit. They've had 2 runners on base only. One via a walk. She was stranded at first base back in the 2nd inning. And then a double, the only hit that PSJ High by Ari Lugo rifled it down the 3rd base line, but she was stranded at 2nd. Pitcher still here as we head into the bottom of the 4th. Game 1 of a best-of-3 series between PSJ High and Katy. Katy representing Region 3, PSJ High representing Region 4. The winner will face either the winner from Region 1 or Region 2. Next week, next Saturday to be exact, at 4 o'clock, I believe, in Austin for the state championship in 6A Division 2. PSJ High on a tremendous run, a historic run. Let's see if it can continue. They've been in Corpus for the last 3 weeks. They love it here. They're trying to make it 4 weeks in a row that they can win a series here in Corpus. They did it in bi-district. Excuse me, they did it in the area round, and then they did it in the regional semifinals, and last week, of course, the historic Region 4 championship. 4th week, they've been successful 3 times. Swung on, that's belted to the center fielder, and that is going to go high off the fence. My goodness, that ball was walloped by Evie Williamson off the center field fence. The center fielder, Astrid Reyes, all she could do is see it fly over her head, hit halfway up the 210 center field fence for a stand-up double. The ball almost bounced all the way back into the infield. So a runner on second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. The hitter, Nevaeh Phillips, the second baseman. She struck out her first time at bat. In fact, the next 3 batters all struck out. So this is a great opportunity for Emma Escamilla to put that double behind her and attack the hitters and keep this a 2-run ball game. Easier said than done, but she has done it. Ball, no strikes as she misses on a pitch outside. Escamilla takes her time, gets the call. She's about to deliver the 1-0, the right-handed hitter. Waits, catcher sets up outside, hits it perfectly in the glove, but the umpire says a bit too outside. 2-0 the count on Phillips now. Addie Phil on deck. Of course, Phillips, the second baseman, batting from the right side. She is a sophomore, is Nevaeh Phillips. Well, that'll be knocked down by the catcher in the dirt. 3 balls and no strikes. So Escamilla, really for the first time, has fallen behind in the count. 3 balls and no strikes. Let's see if she can come back. And that'll be 4 in a row. So a walk to Phillips. So runners now at first and second with no one out here in the bottom of the 4th. Brings up the center fielder, Addie Feo. And as I mentioned, she was a strikeout victim her first time at bat. FL is the center fielder, a freshman, facing Emma Escamilla, the junior. A sensational job Emma Escamilla has done all season long. A bunt, Escamilla gets it. Excuse me, Ari Lugo gets it, and she's going to fire over to Mia Rodriguez. 5-3 for a sacked bunt. Out number one, but in the process, Williamson races over to third and Phillips to second. So well executed, sacked bunt. And that means Katie has runners at second and third with only one out. And we're going to have, I believe, a pinch hitter for Katie Kurtz, the shortstop. It'll be number 8. So it'll be Kelsey Kurtz hitting. So, of course, she's hitting for Kelly Kurtz. I'm sure these are sisters. So, Kelly was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That brings up Kelsey Kurtz, number 8. Tall, right-handed hitter, a sophomore, also a pitcher. I'll be honest, she's intimidating in the hitter's box. And Escamilla throws the first one low, ball 1, as the third base coach gives instruction to the pinch hitter. So Emma Escamilla has given up a double, then a walk, then a sack bunt. So Katie has run her second, third with one out. Escamilla, good pitch, and the hitter Kurtz swings at it, fouls it straight back. Good high fastball. Kurtz could have barreled it up. A ball, 2 balls and a strike now. Huge situation here in the bottom of the fourth as Katy High leads it 2-0. They have runners at second and third with one out. PJ High can ill afford to give up any more runs since they've only have one hit in the ball game. It's up to Escamilla, but hurts. Well, they're going to say foul ball. Kurtz gave it a ride. I think everybody just watched that in awe. That ball was drilled high over the left field foul pole. It was up to the third base umpire. He put both hands up, meaning it is a foul ball. My goodness, she gave that ball a ride. That could have made it 5-0. But fortunately, it sails foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes and an out. I don't think you want to throw this girl another high fastball. It's a changeup, and there it is. Beautiful pitch. She was looking fastball, got the curveball way ahead of on the swing. Great pitch sequence right there by Emma Escamilla. Picking up a huge strikeout, her 6th of the ball game. But more importantly, out number 2. So now with runners at second and third, brings up Cassidy Minnick, the fleet-footed left-handed hitter. She attempts to slap it, but takes it high for ball 1. Infield playing way in. This is a pressure situation here for the infield, folks. The shortstop playing way in. The third baseman, Ari Lugo, almost 3/4 of the way there. The first baseman and second baseman way in as well. It's a bunt to the pitcher, and that'll be easy pickings right there for Emma Escamilla as Minnick bunts it towards her. Escamilla gladly picks it up, tosses it over to Mia Rodriguez for out number 3. So Emma Escamilla got roughed up a bit, gave up a double and then a walk, but no runs. Escamilla does the job. She picks up her 6th strikeout of the ball game. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 runners left on base. So after 4 complete innings of play here at beautiful Cabanas Field in Corpus Christi, it is Katy High 2, PSJA High 0. PSJA High, the visitors. They're heading into the top of the 5th, trailing 2-0. It's going to be the bottom half of the lineup. It'll be the number 6 hitter, Kelly Lopez, followed by Nina Guerra, and then Ademares Garza. And then, of course, if possible, the number 9 hole hitter, Astrid Reyes, would come up to bat. And what you would like to see is the top of the lineup with Ari Lugo, Emery Vega, Ivana Salas, and Emma Escamilla. So they're going to try to flip the lineup here. Can they get to the bottom of the lineup and get back to the top of the lineup with runners in scoring position? Of course, PSJ High has hit. They only have one hit. That was off the bat of Ari Lugo with a double back in the third. She was stranded at second base. PSJ High with one hit, no runs. They've left 2 runners on base, one at first, one at second. They've only had one scoring threat. That was back in the 3rd inning. On the flip side, Katy High, they have 3 hits. They've been hit hard. One was a double, but the 2 big ones were home runs, solo home runs from Lexi Wall and E.K. Smith. And that's where we stand, folks, as we head into the top of the 5th in state semifinal, game 1 between your very own PSJ High Lady Bears, making history this year. First time ever being Region 4 champions. They're not content with that. They want to get to the state championship. Got a lot of work to do, though, as they throw 2-0. And we get the top of the 5th started with a pitch outside to Lopez. Lopez popped it up to the center fielder, her first time at bat. Had a good swing, got under a little bit. The center fielder camped under it for an out. And, of course, Lopez, the senior, catcher, she's going to swing at a high pitch, maybe outside the strike zone. Chasing a little bit is Lopez. A ball and a strike. The 1-1 leading off here, the 5th inning. Swung on. Little late on that swing on that outside fastball. Trying to go the other way is Lopez. Falls it off to the right side into the stands. A ball and 2 strikes now. So the senior catcher fouls it off, and again, a bit high, a little bit above her strike zone, but with 2 strikes, Katie Lopez fighting hard, staying alive. Ball, 2 strikes now. Upstairs, so the freshman facing the senior misses upstairs. That'll even up the count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, Nina Guerra, the right fielder, waiting on deck. So, ground ball to the third baseman, E.K. Smith fires over to Evie Williamson. So, Lopez put it in play, but right at the third baseman. And she'll flip it across the diamond for out number 1. And that brings up the right fielder, Nina Guerra. Caught looking her first time at bat. On deck is the left fielder, Adamaris Garza. So Guerra looking for a hit. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 5th. Getting late rather quickly here for PSJ High. As we have the sun setting, but of course we would not like that to be the sun setting for PSJ High in game 1. We want to see PSJ High here as the lights turn on. And we're going to transition from the sunlight to the artificial lights, the game lights here, the stadium lights turn on. And Guerra hits it hard down the left field foul line, maybe about 5 feet foul. She gave it a ride. That would have been an easy stand-up double for the speedy Nina Guerra, but instead it's a foul ball. And PSJ High, like I said, little by little, they're starting to get to this freshman pitcher. They're starting to get the timing of the pitches. Velocity-wise, she throws very well. Good velocity, probably in the mid-60s, 63, 64. When you compare that to or translate it into baseball, It's about a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. So she's got good velocity, and well, as I talk about fastball, she pulls a string on that one. A beautiful changeup. A ball and 2 strikes. Nina Guerra could just watch that and observe it go by. Couldn't pull the trigger, so a ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Here in the top of the 5th, PSJ High trails by 2. They're trying to get some magic going here. They've been held in 1 hit. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Kurtz grabs it over to Williamson for out number 2. So Nina Guerra hit it hard, but right at the shortstop. Shortstop can make the play for out number 2. So the third baseman and the shortstop have been tested here in the top of the 5th. They've done a good job. They've retired the first 2 hitters, so it'll be up to Ademaris Garza. 0 for 1 in the ball game with a strikeout here in the top of the 5th. PSJ High trying to keep this inning alive here with 2 outs. On deck is Astrid Reyes. After her, it'll be the top of the lineup, so this is a big at-bat. It'd be nice for Garza to get on base, give Astrid Reyes a chance, and of course, in the hole, waiting, lurking is Ari Lugo. And of course, Ari Lugo had a double her second time at bat. So that's why it's important to possibly get a 2-out rally going here. Cut into the lead. Well, I asked for it and I got it. I didn't want Ademaris Garza to get hit in the arm, but she got hit in the arm hard by a good hard line drive fastball, and she's checking her wrist. Hopefully she's okay. And Garza gets on first with 2 outs. That brings up Astrid Reyes, so the ideal situation. And again, I was hoping she'd get on base. Unfortunately, she got on base by getting hit. But she didn't flinch. She stood in the box, inside fastball. She did her job. She took one for the team. And good job. Ademaris right there, a true team player. Now she's at first base. She's got good speed. It brings up the hot-hitting Astrid Reyes. On deck is now Ari Lugo. Big time opportunity here for PSJ High. If they want to get something going, well, they throw to first base. And the ball's going to sail in the dirt. Maddie Smith thought Ademaris Garza was a little bit too far off the bat, but she throws it in the dirt. But a good job by Evie Williamson knocking it down, keeping it in front of her. If it gets faster, Garza probably trots over to second base. And PSJ has a runner in scoring position. But instead, it's just a ball. They're going to look over to first again. Maybe a pitch out there, as pitch was way outside the strike zone. So 2-0 the count. Way ahead of the count is Astrid Reyes. Dangerous situation right here. Astrid Reyes has been absolutely red hot, hitting out of the number 9 spot. A double leadoff for the Lady Bears. Can she come up with some more magic here in the playoffs? And she does. She ropes it down the left field line, bounces off the fence. She hit it so hard that Garza has to settle for getting to second base. The left fielder, Lexi Wall, does a great job of making that relay. So Reyes, right on cue, laces one down the left field foul line. And we got some noise brewing here in the top of the 5th with 2 outs. It hits batter. A line drive base hit off the bat of Reyes. Now brings up the top of the lineup, Ari Lugo. I asked for it and I received it. Now can Lugo get it done here with 2 outs, folks? She had a double her last time at bat. 1 for 2 in the ball game. The freshman facing Lugo, the junior. Lugo has not been herself in the playoffs, but I think she is starting to wake. She had a line drive double her last time at bat. She has about 6 walks. They've been carefully pitching Ari Lugo. Big time threat last year, in fact. She had a stretch where she hit 4 home runs in a row in the playoffs. Ever dangerous Ari Lugo at the plate. Runners at first and second. Outfield playing deep. Third baseman, shortstop playing regular. So is the entire infield. Lugo takes a high pitch upstairs. She thought about it. Checks her swing though. 1-0 the count on Lugo. On deck is Amory Vega. She's been a hero herself in the playoffs. So PSJ High with a golden opportunity here as they trail 2-0 in the top of the 5th. Runners at first and second. 2-out magic brewing here for the Lady Bears. And Lugo misses it, skies it. Who wants it though? Nobody. Whoa! I thought nobody had it. The center fielder, my goodness, I thought it was going to knock her in the head. She puts her glove up right on top of her head. And look what I found. Addie Fail makes I'm not even sure if that's a miraculous catch or she was just deking everybody. But high fly ball by Lugo, caught by Fail. It looked like it was going to drop for a second, but instead it does not. So PSJA High, no runs in the top of the fifth, their biggest scoring threat. They get a hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. So after 4.5 innings of play, it is Katy 2, PSJA High 0. PSJA High has left 4 runners on base. PSJA High with 2 hits in the ball game. Katy High coming up to bat. They have 2 runs on 3 hits. So it'll be up to Emma Escamilla and the defense to keep this a 2-run ball game, folks. It's been a superbly played softball game. Unfortunately, right now, the visitors, and I'll tell you what, you got to give credit where credit is due. They're Region 3 champs for a reason, and they knocked off in the regional semifinals Kingwood. Kingwood was last year's defending champions in 6A Division 2. So this is a very good ball club. They're showing it. They have great pitching, good solid defense. Obviously, they have great power as well as they lead 2-0. Both runs came via home run, so we're going to be ready to get the bottom of the fifth underway from beautiful Cabinets Field in Corpus Christi. Yeah, this is where we get into an interesting part of the ball game here in the bottom of the fifth. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, the sun is starting to set. The lights have not taken full effect. Looks kind of dark out there on the field, so let's hope the defense does not get bothered by that at all. And well, before we have the first pitch, Emma Escamilla is going to regroup, back up off the rubber. She resets. Here comes the first pitch, and the bottom of the fifth is underway with the ball taken outside by the leadoff hitter, Haley Schmidt, the pitcher. Schmidt 0 for 2 in the ball game. She struck out twice. For Schmidt, just a freshman, pitching extremely well. Escamilla dominating her so far with 2 straight strikeouts. Swung on and missed, so that'll even up the count. A ball and a strike on a low off-speed pitch from Escamilla. So 1-1 the count. For Schmidt, the leadoff hitter in the lineup for the Katy Lady Tigers, and she's leading off here at the bottom of the fifth. Katy High leads 2-0. Good pitch. Just misses outside. Good framing by the catcher, Katie Lopez, but the umpire says, nope, just a bit outside. Didn't catch the corner of the strike zone. So 2 balls and a strike now to the hitter. On deck, Lexi Wall, who hit a home run her last time at bat. Swung on and fouled straight back. That'll even up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here to the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the fifth. And of course that glanced off the catcher, but I'll tell you what, Katie Lopez, she's a tough customer. Whenever you wear the tools of ignorance, as I like to call, the catcher's gear, you're going to get belted every once in a while. You're going to end up with a couple of bruises. Hard line drive. I'm talking about bruises. The third base umpire almost got hit by a hard line drive off the bat of Haley Schmidt. We've had some wicked hard line drives by both teams, but foul. Just 5 hits in the ball game. The most damaging hits, of course, were the solo home runs by Katy. That's all we've had. PSJA High's had 2 innings where they've had a runner in scoring position, but they stranded them. Bottom of the fifth, 2-0. Escamilla trying to keep it there. Pitch is swung on and missed, so the hat trick for Schmidt as she strikes out for the 3rd time. That is strikeout number 7 for Escamilla. In the playoffs, she's been averaging about 8 to 10 strikeouts per game. So right on pace. And of course, she's only given up 2 runs. Her defense has played well behind her. Brings up Lexi Wall. Towering home run to dead center her last time at bat. She's 1 for 2. Her first time at bat, she grounded out to the shortstop, to Ivana Salas. And she takes ball 1 in the dirt. On deck, another home run hitter, E.K. Smith. And Lexi Wall, a senior, as we mentioned. And, well, she hits it high in the air. Reyes calls for it and grabs it. So, Wall flies out to the center fielder, Astrid Reyes, for out number 2. So, nobody on, 2 outs. Well, and I was about to say, they'll probably walk E.K. Smith, and they will. Base on balls, they're going to go over her second free pass. Of course, E.K. Smith hit a home run her first time at bat. So that brings up the catcher, Maddie Smith. She's over 2. She's flied out to the right fielder. She's flied out to the left fielder. Odds are she's going to fly out to the center fielder, and that's fine with us because Astrid Reyes covers a lot of ground and can catch everything out in center field. First pitch is upstairs and outside for ball 1. On deck is Evie Williamson, the first baseman. Bottom of the 5th, folks. Runner on first with 2 outs via a free pass. Intentional walk. The hitter, the 1-0. Good looking swing, but fouls it to the right. A ball and a strike. As PJ High right now, they find themselves trailing 2-0 to Katy out of the Houston area in game 1 of a best of 3-game series here in the state semifinals. Good change of pace by Escamilla. Had the hitter, Maddie Smith, pulled a ball and 2 strikes, but E.K. Smith runs on a perfect pitch on a changeup. No throw from the catcher, so Smith gets to second base on a stolen base. Runner at second with 2 outs, 2 strikes, upstairs. Good job by Lopez corralling that. That was sailing way high. A little bit of extra mustard on that one. A little pumped up was Escamilla. That one was a very lively, high-rising fastball. So deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with a runner on second here in the bottom of the 5th. Escamilla's delivery to the hitter. It is swung on and missed. Nice changeup once again. Escamilla gives up an intentional walk smartly, but no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base. So after 5 complete innings of play in game 1 here in beautiful Corpus Christi, it's Katy 2, PJ High 0. We'll come back for the top of the 6th.
Hello, PSJ team. Our district works hard every day to protect our students and ensure the safety of everyone on campus. Your role as teachers and staff is just as important. We rely on you to monitor your surroundings, stay observant, and report anything unusual or concerning immediately. Your partnership is essential in maintaining a safe environment. In the event of an emergency, know that we have protocols in place to address it. The most important things you can do are remain calm, follow our safety procedures, and stay informed through official PSJ updates. Panicking and spreading rumors or unverified information only creates confusion and can hinder emergency response efforts. Sharing false information, whether intentionally or unintentionally, can also have serious consequences. Trust the process, avoid sharing unverified information, and keep open lines of communications with your colleagues and leadership. Together we can ensure the safety and well-being of our students and staff.
Here we go, folks. Welcome back to game 1 of a state semifinal. PJ High history-making season, representing Region 4, the state semifinals. Of course, they're playing Katy High, representing Region 3. It's game 1. The winner of this series will play next Saturday in Austin at UT Softball Park. UT Longhorns, of course, for the state championship for 6A Division 2. But first things first, right now, PJ High in a dogfight. They trail 2-0 as they head into the top of the 6th. It'll be Amory Vega hitting, and Vega ambushes the first pitch but follows it straight back. I tell you what, She had a good swing, fouled it straight back. She was right on that fastball. On deck, Ivana Salas. The Bears have produced a couple of hits in the ball game. Outside, the ball and a strike to the second baseman, the senior. She's over 2, strikeout victim, and flew out to the center fielder her second time at bat. The 1-1 to Vega. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. So behind in the count is the pitcher, the freshman, Haley Schmidt. She's done a good job. She's only given up 2 hits. She has 7 strikeouts to her credit, and most importantly, she leads 2-0. Another good swing by Vega. That'll even up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And of course, as always, a lot of people here representing PSJA High. They have a great fan base and they travel well. Trying to support their team, trying to get them going. And Vega lofts it into right center. The center fielder grabs it. My goodness. Addie Fail makes another sensational grab. Vega drives it into the right center field gap, but the speedy Addie Fail tracks it down for out number 1. Thought Vega possibly had that down into right center, but instead it is out number 1. Brings up the shortstop, Ivana Salas, who's 0 for 2 in the ball game. On deck is the pitcher, Emma Escamilla. Of course, this is the heart of the lineup right here. Salas hitting the number 3 spot of the lineup. On deck is the cleanup hitter, Escamilla. Foul ball. Almost into the home dugout. Salas way ahead of that pitch. Fouled it off into the third base dugout. Of course, third base dugout occupied by the home team from Katy. PSJA High in the first base dugout as they are the visitors in Game 1. PSJA High will be the home team in Game 2 tomorrow at 7 p.m. here at the same stadium. Upstairs, 1-1 the count. To Salas, the sophomore, facing the freshman, Haley Schmidt, with PSJA High trailing 2-0 here in the top of the 6th. Katy High picked up 1 on a solo home run in the first. They picked up the second run in the bottom of the third to make it 2-0 on another solo home run. And that's been it, folks. 2-0. Bit of pitcher's duel. Foul straight back. So again, Salas. I think it's a good swing. Good healthy cuts by these hitters from PSJA High. They had just barely been missing the ball. They've been foul tipping it, and they've hit some loud, hard foul balls, but they just can't put it between the foul lines. That's been the difference. That's something they have done throughout the playoffs. Squaring the ball up, driving the ball in the gaps, putting pressure on the defense. Right now, they have failed to do that, but still, we have the 6th inning, and then we have the 7th inning. Of course, there's only 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The PSJA High still has 5 outs to work with. And in case you're wondering, I believe our boys here in Corpus at Cal Allen are leading Dripping Springs in Game 1 of a Region 4 championship, 5-0. So the pitcher, Schmidt, pulls the string on that pitch. Salas, caught looking. Swings at strike number 3 for out number 2. So that'll mean Escamilla bat with 2 outs. And, well, they decided to pitch to Escamilla. We've seen her get walked several times this year. I think with a 2-0 lead, they're probably going to pitch her. They probably will pitch her. Yeah, and I'm looking over at the coach. And she says, you know what, let's see what she has. First pitch taken for a strike. So Escamilla 0 for 2 in the ball game. She grounded up to the shortstop, then she flew out to the left fielder. No, 0 for 2. Escamilla, of course, a junior. With 2 outs, nobody on. Escamilla takes a pitch upstairs. A ball and a strike now. On deck is the first baseman, Mia Rodriguez. So the 1-1 upcoming with 2 outs. Right field down the right field foul line, and the center fielder playing shaded to the right center field gap. So they're thinking maybe Escamilla's going to try to drive it the other way, or are they going to pitch her the other way? That ball is taken outside. 2 balls and a strike. Second baseman playing way deep. First baseman playing regular. It's up and away. Escamilla chasing one out of the strike zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's just a case of trying to do a little too much right there. Escamilla trying to put the team on her back, trying to get 1 run back in a hurry on 1 swing. Comes up empty. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Nobody on. And chasing again is Escamilla. So the freshman, Haley Smith, retires the first batter on a pop-up, strikes out the next 2. That is Smith's 8th strikeout of the ball game. So no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. 3 up, 3 down for PSG High in the top of the 6th. We're going to quickly move into the bottom of the 6th, folks. It'll be up to Emma Escamilla, who just made the 3rd out of the 6th inning, to keep them at 2. She's done an incredible job of pitching, folks. She's given up just 3 hits and just 2 runs. She's struck out 8 hitters. And of course, hitting for Katie, the Lady Tigers, will be Evie Williamson, Nevaeh Phillips, and then Addie Fail. So Emma Escamilla gets to the pitcher circle. She's ready. As we are going to the bottom of the 6th inning, folks. PSGA High trying to keep this at a 2-run ball game. PSGA High, of course, trailing 2-0. Across town at Cow Allen. Our boys, PSGA High, trying to win a Region 4 championship for the first time. They lead Dripping Springs 5-0. So the bottom of the 6th gets underway with a ball to the hitter, who is 1 for 1. Williamson got hit by the pitcher first time at bat and then hit a double. He got stranded at 3rd, her second at bat, back in the 4th. So quickly ahead of the count is Williamson. 2-0. So ball 3. A little wildly there by the pitcher, Emma Escamilla. That makes the count 3 balls and no strikes. On the hitter, the first baseman swinging from the left side. Hit the ball extremely hard off the center field fence her last time at bat. And she grounds out to the second baseman, Vega, with a quick grab and flip over to the first baseman to Mia Rodriguez. So that'll retire Williamson for out number 1. 4-3 in the book if you're scoring. That brings up Nevaeh Phillips, the second baseman. She's 0 for 1. She walked her last time at bat. Stranded at second base back in the 4th inning. So PSG High trailing 2-0. They're trying to get out of the 6th inning with the score intact, 2-0, to give themselves a chance in the top of the 7th. Only 5 hits between the 2 teams. PSG High with 2, Katie with 3. The difference has been the power game, the long balls hit by Katie. 2 solo home runs, that's been it. First pitch fouled off by Phillips to the right side, 0-1. Of course, Emma Escamilla has just given up 3 hits, pitching extremely well. She has 8 strikeouts already to her total. All 2 the count. On Phillips. On deck is Eddie Feo. Upstairs. Trying to get the hitter to chase something upstairs. Good waist pitch right there. Took something off it. The hitter not biting. Ball 2 strikes. The 1-2 upcoming. Swung on, foul back. Heads up in the stands. And hopefully everybody is okay there. Ball 2 strikes now. So we'll do the 1-2 all over again. Here's a 1-2 pitch coming. Well, they're gonna say it hit her. I was thinking it would be just in the dirt, but instead, Escamilla hits her second batsman. That means Phillips gets to first. So Escamilla's hit 2 hitters. And she's walked 3. So Escamilla's given up 5 free bases. Of course, a couple of them were intentional walks, so that's not on her. So with 1 out, runner on first, brings up the hitter. The center fielder, who's done a fantastic job manning center field for Katie, Eddie Feo. She's 0 for 2. She's 0 for 1 in the ball game with a strikeout, then laid down a sac bunt, and that's exactly what she's trying to do right now. She misses it though, so it's 0-1 the count. Of course, the third baseman, Ari Lugo, playing way in. The shortstop playing in as well for the Lady Bears. Second baseman playing halfway for a double play. The first baseman playing in as well. The outfield playing shallow. They're looking for a slap if she doesn't get the sac bunt down. At that time, yes, pitch upstairs, taken. Bunt was off. Addie Feo was trying to slap it to the left side. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on first. Bottom of the 6th. Katie leading 2-0 over our PSJ High Lady Bears. Outside pitch taken. 2 balls and a strike. So, of course, you don't want to give in to the hitter. Of course, with 1 out, is she really trying to sacrifice or is she trying to push it? I think she's trying to push it more. I don't think you want to give up an out to get runner at second with 2 outs. I think you'd rather take a chance and swing the bat. Infield drawn in, though. Pitch is outside, 3-1. So Emma Escamilla trying to find that outer portion of the strike zone. Has not been able to. 3 balls and a strike. So that will back up the shortstop a little bit. Of course, the shortstop for PSJ High, Ivana Salas. She'll creep up again. Lugo playing way in, and that is foul to the left side. That'll make the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. With an out, a runner on first. Of course, how did she get to first? She was hit in the foot. Two hit batsmen by Escamilla. Of course, more impressive, she has 8 strikeouts to her credit. The 3-2 offering is fouled off again. Right over the third base dugout, so we'll do it one more time. The battle continues between Emma Escamilla and the hitter, the center fielder, Addie Feo. Of course, Addie Feo is a freshman, Escamilla a junior. Runner on first, looks on, check swing, strike 3, big time pitch right there. Feo thought about it, couldn't take her swing. Umpire calls her out for out number 2. And that is strikeout number 9 for Escamilla. That means the runner on first, Phillips, remains at first, but now with 2 outs, brings up the shortstop, Kelly Kurtz. Swung on and missed. Good pitch by Emma to start off this at-bat by Kurtz. No balls and a strike. So the hitter, Kurtz, awaits the pitch. Runner goes. No throw by the catcher. So Phillips steals second base easily. That'll be the second stolen base of the evening for the Lady Tigers. No attempt by the catcher, allowing her to get to second base. Of course, the count is no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 offering from Escamilla, swung on and missed. So a big pair of strikeouts from Escamilla to retire the side in the bottom of the 6th. So no runs, no hits, no errors. We're going to head into the final frame with PGA High trailing Katy 2-0.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Texas.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Here we go, folks, heading into the top of the 7th, final frame of Game 1 of a state semifinal. Your very own PGA High Lady Bears making history getting to the state semifinal, but right now they find themselves trailing to Katy High, Region 3 champions, leading the Region 4 champions, 2-0 as we head into the top of the 7th inning, folks. It'll be up to the middle of the lineup, though, Mia Rodriguez, Kaylee Lopez, and Nina Guerra. So the Lady Bears are down to their final 3 outs. Of course, they're the home team here in Game 1. Tomorrow it'll be Game 2 at 7 p.m. here at Corpus Christi ISD's Cabaniss Field. Game 3, if necessary, will be played on Saturday. I believe at 4 p.m. here at Cabaniss Field. The top of the 7th gets underway with a ball to Rodriguez, the first baseman. Mia, of course, hitting in the number 5 spot. Just a sophomore. Takes a healthy cut, but comes up empty, missing a fastball right down the heart of the plate. So the freshman pitcher, Haley Smith for Katy. Fearless out there, challenging the hitters. And there's a rope right back up the middle. Mia Rodriguez accepts the challenge and hits a solid rope right back where it came from the center fielder. Addie Phil throws it in, but just a base solid knock for Mia Rodriguez. That puts her at 1 for 2 in the ballgame with a walk. So that is hit number 3 for PGA High. They're even on the hits. Let's see if they can even it up now on the scoreboard. Hitting now is the senior, Kaylee Lopez. Katie Lopez, the senior, takes strike one. So, PJ High, they have a runner on first. Nobody out here in the top of the seventh. So, the tying run on base, folks. At the plate, and well, a bunt to the pitcher. The runner on first extended her lead. The pitcher, Schmidt, grabs it for out number one and then tosses over to the first baseman to double up the base runner. So, in dramatic fashion, the runner is wiped out via a failed bunt. And a double play ensued. And now we're down to PGA High's final out. It'll be up to the right fielder, Nina Guerra. 0 for 2 in the ball game. She hit the ball hard her last time at bat. PGA High trails 2-0 here in the top of the seventh. Outside. 2-0. So Guerra trying to become that base runner again that brings up the tying run to the plate. And who's on deck? It is Ademaris Garza. So the chants of Bears Go is being sung right now, or chanted by the crowd, but it'll be 2 balls and a strike. Guerra taking all the way, takes a pitch right down the middle. They're looking for base runners, folks. Any way you can get on. This is one of those where you take one for the team. Anything inside, you put a shoulder in, you put an elbow in, take one, get on base somehow. Give yourself a chance. And Guerra swings out of the strike zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Guerra, a junior, thrust into action, though, in the playoffs. After an injury to one of the Bear players, she's done a good job, though, playing a good, solid defensive right field. But now they're asking her to come up with the biggest hit of her high school career here with 2 outs, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the seventh with her team trailing 2-0. And she will unfortunately not catch up to a fastball. What looked like a promising top of the seventh. The Lady Bears get a base hit off of Mia Rodriguez, but a ball hit to the pitcher off the bat of Katie Lopez. For out number 1, the first runner on first gets doubled up. And well, folks, after a strikeout, in fact, that is strikeout number 9 for the freshman pitcher, Haley Schmidt. So that'll do it for game number 1. The Region 3 champs beat the Region 4 champs. Katy High defeats PSJA High 2-0 in game 1. Is a well-played game. Both pitchers pitched extremely well. Both pitchers gave up just 3 hits. But for Katy High, there was 2 home runs, and that was the difference, folks. 2 solo home runs, 1 in the first, 1 in the third. PSJA High had a couple chances in a couple of the mid-innings. They had runners in scoring position, but unfortunately, PSJA High falls short in game 1. But I tell you what, they battled hard, and they will be back for game 2 at 7 p.m. here at Cabinets Field, and we will see you then. So on behalf of KTRI and on behalf of Edgar Hernandez, I'm Javi Martinez. Hope you enjoyed the game. Have a good evening. God bless and safe travels.